afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, guess my job here in Taiwan. English teacher. It's giving. Alright, so I'll be talking about my experience in Taiwan, and my presentation is titled Oops, because that's basically what happened the whole time. Alright, so life has a funny way of sending us to places where we least expect, and for me, that was Taiwan. I've been here for 4 years now. I first came here last 2021, and it's been quite an experience, and that's what I'm looking forward to share to all of you guys here this afternoon. So just a short disclaimer, this is very personal. Please don't expect to get a real rational presentation from me. It will be about my story and the things that happened to me on my earlier days here in Taiwan, which I assume is where you guys are at the moment. Expectation, I'm so good. I will learn Chinese in 6 months. I was in the Philippines then. I was like, oh, I feel like it won't be that hard. I learned Chinese in a matter of time, maybe 6 months or a year, and I'll be able to converse in the language. And it took me 3 weeks just to say bubble tea in Chinese. And I'm 4 years next month, but I still can't say it with the correct tone until now. So please, that part, don't follow me. Take your Chinese classes here this week. Okay, next, expectation. I'll handle homesickness like a pro. I mean, how hard could it be, right? Taiwan is not far from the Philippines, and I lived away from home before, although I came back from time to time, but lol. This was me crying at 2 a.m. because, I mean, I've been eating the bread and drinking the coffee for a very long time, and I was just like, oh no, Jollibee spaghetti is just 50 pesos. And if I was home, then I could buy that because that's not really much money. It's about 30 NT maybe. Next, well, I'll have money because I'll be working abroad, you know. I mean, even from back in our country, Taiwan or being here was marketed as you could study and work at the same time. And we all know that the NTD is quite higher than the PHP. So I was expecting when I came here, I'll have the money because I'll be working. Well, oops. This was December 12, 2021, and this 100 NT bill was my last money. And my next allowance would be, I think, start of January. I was broke for months. It was not until January 2022 that I was able to get a job, because that was when the cram schools and other language schools in Taiwan opened. So this was actually a real picture. Next. Well, Taiwan must celebrate Christmas like we do. Filipinos know this one. Christmas is a very, very big deal in the Philippines. So we celebrate Christmas starting from September 1st. There's Jose Marichan singing already. But in Taiwan, when I first came here, the only Christmas tree I saw was a plastic tree from 7-Eleven, and it wasn't even in school, it was outside. And this was our food. December 24, midnight, we were waiting for the clock to strike 12 o'clock for Christmas, and this was our food. And this right here, they are not celebrating Christmas. It was a random event from students here in STUST at the time. So we just took a picture pretending that they are actually celebrating, but they aren't. But hey, it wasn't all bad, okay? Even if you ask me now if I regretted being here or choosing Taiwan instead of staying with the comforts in the Philippines, I would say that I'd still choose to be here, and I'd still choose to struggle. I know at the time that I'm slowly finding my ground, and not just in terms of earning the enough cash to support myself, but also in my studies. So eventually, I was able to open up myself and started to join several competitions. So this was some of the pictures. I started taking up hosting gigs again because I used to do that back in the Philippines. So when the department needed someone to host an event, I started saying yes to that. I joined a drama competition because I'm an actress. We represented STUST for a global pitch a business competition. So we had like a business idea and then we tried to pitch that to different investors and we won first place during this time. So that was like one of the highlights of my student life here in Taiwan. This was an English competition done here. This was the drama competition I told you guys about. I won Best Actress. So what was the lesson? You need to work to find your ground. Not really, but you have to be fully ready to cover what you need in order for you to start flourishing as an individual as well. So the almighty question is how? How did you get from point A to point B? And how does it happen? I mean, I wish I could tell you that there is like a straight up formula for you to follow to get to a place where you would want to see yourself in. But for me, looking back, I think that every awkward moment that I had, every mistake, and there were a lot, they were proof that I was learning and growing. It needed to happen for me to realize the kind of life that I want to lead. And even when things were impossible or felt impossible at the time, for me, stopping wasn't an option. I just had to keep going. And I think really, with all the things that I said this afternoon, what I want to leave you guys is that don't stop. I mean, take a pause or take a deep breath or maybe, rest for a little while, but don't stop. And if you feel like you have an option to stop at any point, then I think you're really privileged. But for most people, stopping just isn't an option for all of us. And for me, that's what saved me. That's what took me from point A to point B. Because I knew that I cannot stop. I cannot stop looking for a job because what will I eat, right? I cannot stop being a good student because I might lose my scholarship. I can't stop just because I'm tired because I might be sent back to the Philippines, and that's even scarier, at least for me. Alright, so I took a leap of faith in 2021. I left the familiar behind and I stepped into the unknown. And 4 years later, I'm still here. So I'm going to leave you guys with this one again. Life has a funny way of leading you to places you never imagined. I never imagined I'll be spending 4 years of my life in Taiwan. But it's exactly where I am meant to grow and maybe where you are meant to grow. So 4 years later, I'm still here in Taiwan, stronger, braver, and still very afraid of Chinese characters because I still can't read Chinese. Alright, that's it. So it's a blank page because I'll give this time to you guys if you have any questions.
Any questions you want to ask Rose at this moment? Or you can think about it? Okay, I think we should have something about our little over here, but probably we can pass the time to our next speaker.
You can just call me Vaughn. Just call me Vaughn. Okay. My Chinese name is Ma Shenzhong, and currently I'm in my third year of computer science and information engineering. The greatest lesson I learned from my studies here is you need to overcome language barriers. Okay, my classes are all in Chinese. When I came here, I had zero background in Chinese. I didn't speak Chinese maybe aside from ni hao and xie xie. But I can't ni hao xie xie, ni hao xie xie, ni hao. You can't do that. So it was very hard and it was very awkward. I go to class not understanding a single thing. So basically, a lot of students, they go to class, listen to the teacher, and then learn nothing. And then we go home to self-study. It was very difficult. And like our previous speaker wrote, I also had to provide for myself. I had to find a way to provide for myself, to look for a job. So when I first came to Taiwan, I tried housekeeping. I tried like all the weird jobs, and then I also later on found out about English teaching. But I was 18 years old with zero experience in English teaching. So I applied for all jobs, and again, like Rose said, just don't stop, okay? If you don't stop, you will always get to where you want to be. And the second one, the most important one, is how to connect and work with different people. Okay, when I came to Taiwan, I realized a very big cultural difference. Filipinos were, I think, more friendly, or not friendly, more outgoing, okay, more active. They're very approachable. So that's it. Working with different people is one of the very important lessons I've learned here in Taiwan. Because you will work with Indians, you'll work with Indonesians, you'll work with Vietnamese, you'll work with Filipinos, you'll work with people from all over the world. And that's a very important skill, to work with different people from different backgrounds, with different languages. So you'll just try to meet out of a common ground, so you can understand and connect with each other. So what are my learning insights? One thing I learned about being here is you have to have a deep love of learning. Because learning Chinese from zero, and then you have to take your classes in Chinese. The tests are in Chinese. The reports are in Chinese. Everything is in Chinese. It's not easy. If you don't have a love for learning, if you just go to class and then go home and then you don't learn anything, you will not be able to keep up and you will get left behind. So here's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to tell you is, every day, try to learn something. So every day you learn little by little. So if your goal is here, at least like you start here, one day you go here, another day like this, and then after a year you'll be here. You'll get to where you want to go. So right now I think I can converse somewhat fluently in Chinese. The good thing I got from that experience was, since then I learned how to say milk tea. You say nice, not the other one. Okay? So you learn the most from the weirdest, from the worst, from the hardest experience. That's where you get the most learning. So again, you have to have a deep love of learning. Try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things, because that is how you learn. You try new things. At first, it's very uncomfortable. It will be awkward. You will fail. You for sure will fail. But don't stop and don't be afraid to try new things. Because after all these awkward experiences, after all these struggles, you will come out as a better person. And I also have this saying. I will end my presentation with this one. Whatever doesn't kill you will only make you better. Okay? Whatever doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. And that's it. That's my story. And thank you so much for listening.